Hi, my name's Trudie. I'm a member of the IQ team and I'm also one of the vloggers. This week's vlog is all about the Cambridge Proficiency Exam, including its length, the content, structure and some tips for teaching normal sessions. Exam lessons are particularly popular at IQ because they're a chance to demonstrate a high level of English and work towards an achievement, and there's lots of value given to assessment by many of our Breadies. So let's find out a little bit more about it. So what is the Cambridge Proficiency Exam? This is the highest of the high. It's often abbreviated to CPE. The CPE exam is the toughest exam on offer by Cambridge and is all about highlighting fluency in speaking English as a second language. Most people who take the CPE exam are looking to study at postgraduate level or are wishing to apply to a senior management position where the use of excellent English is of fundamental importance. Breadies at CPE level should have a good understanding of idioms, colloquial language, attitude and tone within language. At the moment, there aren't many people looking for help with CPE, but as we continue to develop our adult and business courses, it may mean in the future more and more people look to IQ for help preparing for the CPE exam. So let's find out a little bit more about it. So onto the length of exam, and we'll break down and look at the structure of each part. The CPE exam, much like the earlier Cambridge exams, is broken down into 4 sections. The reading part of this exam has 4 parts and lasts around 90 minutes in total. So part 1 has 3 texts with 18 gaps. Part 2 has 4 related texts with 2 questions each. Part 3 has a text with missing paragraphs, and Part 4 has a text with multiple choice questions. Then there's a composition task. There's 2 tasks for this, and this lasts in total for around 2 hours. Part 1 is a text with 15 gaps. Part 2 will be looking at word formation. Then we're on to the listening activity. So this is where there'll be 3 or 4 recordings, and this will be 40 minutes in length. So part 1 will be 4 passages with multiple choice questions. Part 2 will be 1 passage with a gapped text. And finally, there's an interview, normally with another candidate, and this lasts around 15 minutes. As with all of the exam resources, you can find the books, audio files and past papers in the resources section of the IQ website. So you can look here and become familiar with the exam and what's in it before your session. The level of proficiency gained at the end of the CPE exam is classed as C2 on the CEFR scale, or super advanced. It's really important that buddies that want to teach at this level have an understanding of academic English and have prepared well in advance for students of this level. Just like in the CAE exam, you can be awarded an A, B or C, which are all pass, or D, E and U, which are fails. This is an in-depth exam that really is challenging. There's not a lot of grammar in the course book, as it's expected that at this level, the Bready should know most of the grammar stuff. The reading texts in this are really long, and the listening texts are much harder and faster paced than previously looked at in the other exams. So it's quite similar to the CAE exam, but with higher expectations and much more varied questions too. So let's talk about structure. You won't find a taster for this, as we don't often get bookings for these. So, if it's your Bready's first CPE session, amazing! Ask them about what they think about their own personal strengths and weaknesses within English, and once these have been identified, make sure to continue to address these throughout your session and future sessions. In a normal session, ensure you're using the practice papers and split sessions to work on the key skills. Reading in one, writing in another, and if the Bready wants to focus on particular skills, then that's what you'll do. Use the exam handbooks to give tips And remember to look online to integrate tips you find there as well into your lesson. In a normal session, you need to give a realistic level of where the Bready is working. You may even be asked to do a full exam before starting the course with your Bready to give them an initial score. In a normal session, you'll work through the coursebook objectives. And for these lessons, there is no maximum or minimum number of pages. You move at the Bready's pace and you focus on the skills that they want to cover. Don't panic. The textbooks and all the course materials are provided, and as well as your expertise on all things English, this will help you through. Remember, you can find the resources in the resources section on the IQ Bar website. When setting homework for an exam session, bear in mind that Breadies probably won't have the resources, so attach a page of a course book, and once complete, go through the past papers and attach parts of these or full exams. The most important thing is to be prepared. Know how the exam works, what's in it, know how your mark schemes work, and constantly refer to this throughout your class, and don't lose sight of both yours and your Bready's aims. So here's some top tips. The best way to learn about what's involved in the CPE exam is to go through the texts, the resources on the website a few days before your first session, and really get to know the paper and how the grading works. Start by looking through the text provided by IQ Bar and look at what you'll be covering. Check the notes of your Bready to see their strengths and their weaknesses, and make sure that you address these in your lessons, be that in the icebreaker or continue to address these throughout the session. So here's some specific tips for the CPE exam. Encourage your Bready to learn turn taking and ask you questions too. Set them tasks, as they'll have to talk about a topic on their own in the exam. So set them a timer and give them a chance to practice developing this skill. Help create a structure to help them focus when they're talking about something. The exam is much more sophisticated than the CAE exam, so you'll need to have a better knowledge of keyword transformations and be able to give examples of these. Give them lots of opportunities to discuss and hear and use different tones, and encourage them to use them themselves in your lessons. I really hope this has helped, and I wish you the best of luck in your teaching. Remember, contact a member of a team if you'd like more information or help. Happy teaching, guys. Bye.